then started to do the show. So in the beginning, the show started out as a relatively normal, boring show. And I'm sorry for the way I look, but it didn't get any better as the years went on.
And I was going to ask you if that was like the studly look or the geeky look.
Oh, no, I've always been a geek and I've made a career.
I know some students that would adopt that fashion style. So.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was really good. Actually, when I was in college, my nose was so big, I had a job as a sundial.
Let's go to the next clip.
I was so fat that when I was in school, they painted Goodyear on my back and kicked me out the second floor window. I'm just trying to remember these fat jokes. I can't. Go ahead.
Some of the trends we've seen on the Jerry Springer Show over the years are surprise moments and transvestite guests. Here is a look at both.
D is 4 months pregnant.
By you?
Yeah.
You?
I got somebody else too. It's my best friend.
That looks memorable.
Yeah, that was Rufus and Trinae, and I guess that was in the early 1990s. Could have been 94. I didn't see the date they put up there, but around 94, 95. What is interesting about that, and it shows you how the culture has changed, and I would say for the positive side. Because when they came out, that was one of the first shows we had ever done about transsexuals or about guys being gay. And there were protests. I mean, now you can't even imagine it. But this is only, what, 13 years ago? 13 years ago, if you showed gay people on television, particularly guys kissing, there were protests, pickets, threats from advertisers to, stop advertising the show, take the show off the air. And I'll be the first to say our show is just stupid. But, it's silly and it's entertainment and that's all it is. It has no real purpose. But it has a consequence. And the consequence of shows such as ours is that we have become much more progressive and much more open as a society for the better. We had a show early on about interracial dating. We now have a product of an interracial marriage running for President of the United States. So, whether you're for them or not, that's beside the point. But the issue is, that's how far we've come as a culture. And that is great. It was not the reason we created the show. The show was for entertainment, period. But as I look back and see what a consequence of our show and shows like it have been, is with all the laughing and the screaming and the complaining, the truth of the matter is, we are finally become accepting as a culture of a significant portion of our population being gay. God bless them. And there's far less discrimination against gays because of that. And interracial dating, we don't even think about it anymore. And getting married and having kids, etc., and all that stuff. So for all the craziness of the show, it does have its impact. And the impact, I would argue, has been very, very, very positive as a culture. who wants to live in a society that discriminates? And the fact that we're much more open now, and we don't even have to talk about it in a politically correct way. We can even joke about it. That's the acceptance that we now have. So that's a plus up to otherwise. I would say.
This show got people talking, and that's what we try and do on campus, right? Is get people talking and learning about each other. We celebrate our diversity at this university. Let's go on to the next clip. And this next clip is one of the most controversial episodes that's been on the show, and there was friction within this episode. So we're going to show this and have you talk a little bit about it.
Don't teach a child to hate because she's
I teach my children to hate the evil and love
She will
the good.
grow up in this world, sir.
Hate
She
the
will grow
evil.
up in this world, sir.
You're
With
raising
everybody
them.
here.
That Holocaust myth that you're teaching all these children, innocent children in the cesspools you call universities, indoctrination centers. The Holocaust myth.
The one response, I mean, you know, I have several responses. The one is, I'm not going to do it,
Hey,
but I like to beat the
you
crap out
said
of
6
it.
million.
I don't hate you. I feel sorry for you. I only hate what you have done to your children. They're ruined. They're ruined because of what you did. Yeah, you're on. The reality of the show is not about whether we know that the 6 million people died. Trust me,
No, we don't know.
they're not
I know
hiding. You
about
shut your face right now. I travel around the country doing America's Got Talent, which will start in July again. But the rest of the time, and I do shows in England, but most of the time I do politics. I give political speeches around the country, raise money, help organize, do stuff like that, because that's my real passion in life. That's the thing I get serious about. The show is my business, it's how I make my living, and it's fun to do, but politics I really take serious. It's like religion, you know, it's a passion of mine. And I just want to mention one thing as you all get. First of all, Michigan is right in the middle, as you know, of this whole Democratic Party debate. And it's a crime if Michigan doesn't get to vote. Well, first of all, as a Democrat, and I'm a partisan, so in fairness, obviously, if you're a Republican, then you're not going to particularly care what I say, but as a Democrat, and a lifelong Democrat, we are crazy if we throw away Michigan and Florida.